Everyone knows that is America. It's a really big city, kind of like this one. So I'm really in my element here. I really appreciate coming to this city. When I was a kid, about your age, I was really angry. I had a lot of really anger problems, and I was really bitter and I was really upset. I didn't like myself. And then I went to this thing called YWAM, which was JG. It was like an outreach for kids. It was 2009. And God really showed up in my life in such a radical way, and He turned my life around, and He introduced me to the arts, which I found out I really liked, which was all about like music and drama and Shakespeare and dancing and stuff like that. And it was really fun. I was able to connect with it, and so that's what God's having me do here. He's brought me here so that I can relate to you guys. And what I've done is I've taken my life story and I've put it into an art, which I'm going to do as storytelling. Which is basically dramatic, talking about a story. And I'm just going to share that with you guys, and it's in an abstract way, so it's all representation. It didn't actually happen to me, but it represents my story. And it's called a clay mire, which is a swamp. Does anyone know what a mire is? Yeah? What's a mire? Mire is like a swamp of clay, and if you stand on it, you sink, and you get stuck in it. And it's really scary. So without further ado, a clay mire. And as he walked over the clay mire, he found what he had been searching for. A child, neck deep in clay. He was sinking. He was going to die. He had one hand up to save himself, reaching for the trees above him. But he couldn't reach. And the father called out his name, "Child," as he slowly walked over the clay towards him. The child looked, and he saw him, and he cried out, "Father!" As his mouth filled with clay, he coughed and he choked. He started to go under, and the father continued to walk towards his child. Just as he went under, the father reached him, pulled him out, put him on his shoulders, turned back, and walked back from whence he had come. And now he had the boy on his shoulders, and he began to sink. The boy was alarmed. He said, "Father, we're sinking. We're going to die." And he said, "Shh, it's okay." And he began to sing to him. He began to sing of his perfect love song. He sang about how much he loved him as he continued to sing. Now up to his waist, he had to hold the boy above his head. And again the boy cried out, "Father, Master, we're going to die." And he continued to sing. And as it came up to his chest, he turned the child around and said 3 words, "I love you," choking on the last word as the clay filled his mouth. He kept eye contact as the clay went around his face. Keeping eye contact, he submerged. He was gone. Now the clay was up to his forearms here. The boy knew he was dead. For an awkward moment, he stood there, until suddenly the arms reached back and threw the child forward, and then stuck. As he screamed, he was caught by many small hands. Confused, he opened his eyes and he looked around, and he saw other people, other children like himself, clothed in white and perfectly clean. They poured water on him, and he rinsed himself clean. They put him in white clothes, and they started to lead him back home. And he looked and he was like, "Father!" He was not there. Another child came up, took his hand, and said, "He's gone back for another lost child." God's